used to this by now. We should be used to this by now. I got it up now. I got it up. You guys see the avatar yet?
Peace to the family. You already know what time it is. It's time for Chakra Nova episode 8 without um, without any technical difficulties. And all of the guests, could you make sure that y'all got headphones on? Because if y'all don't have headphones on, we'll have full reverberation and everybody will be hearing my voice 3 times over. And we all know one time is enough. And of course, I got my usual subjects, the usual
You're doing
suspects.
experiments on us.
My usual subject, because you know I'm a mad scientist out here. No, my usual suspects. Y'all the ones that work for the.
Chill.
No comment. No comment.
Chill.
I be doing mad experiments, but not on people. Not on people.
All right, so we back in this thing, Chakra Nova episode 8. This is where we just kind of, have fun and let loose after we do whole weeks of studying this esoteric energy. And we have a list of questions that, we deal with in the pre-production. And we may or may not get to those questions in this episode, family. But you know how Prime Harmonic, he has things to do and places to go. So we're not going to waste hella time. Jeff, I'm going to go ahead and do it in order since this is just the general order of introduction. We'll go Jeff, Prime, and then finish it off with Sacred. Jeff, tell us about your week and tell us a little bit about yourself for a person who never tuned into this podcast. They seeing you for the first time ever. You got your one time to give your greatest and latest impression. What would you say, Jeff?
Damn. All right. That pressure. All right. Yeah. My name is Jeff. Middle name is Elijah. I will leave it at that. I am a former cannabis connoisseur, now turned a cannabis consultant, industry consultant. So here to help folks who do like to partake in cannabis and also who do not like to partake in cannabis, but still know about some of its benefits. Health-wise and recreational use as well, how to benefit off of it. You need to get in contact with me yesterday. So go ahead and hit me up on Instagram. Elijah Green 144 is the business account. Definitely check that out. That's what I'm pushing most of all. But you can probably learn some things through my personal account as well. That's Jeff Elijah 144. Just like it says here, Jeff Elijah 144. Hit me up. I got you. Come on.
Peace. I'm Prime Harmonic. Man, the week I've had, just learning to live more in spirit, learning to trust the universe has my back more and more. It's a step-by-step process. And that's the work. That's the work I've been doing since dealing with Chakra Nova. I am an engineer. I'm a scientist, and I take my spirituality seriously. And I don't like no hocus pocus answers to stuff. So I always try and bring it down to something that I can explain to my kid. Yeah, I'm on IG at prime.harmonic.
Thank you for joining us, Prime Jeff. And last but definitely not least, Sacred in the building. What's up, young man?
Uh-oh.
Sacred frying chicken, so
Yeah, I was about to say he might be cooking.
he might tune in and tap back. Go ahead.
Can y'all hear me? Am I good?
Yes.
Hold on.
My delay?
You and your infinite serpents in the building.
Oh gosh, here we go with the foolishness.
All right, infinite serpents breathing
Hello?
in that
Y'all
good
got me?
prana.
Y'all got me? Y'all got me? Uh uh peace to the family. This is Sacred Serpent. Just wanted to give thanks to the family for the space. Shout out to the family on the panel. Congratulations to my big bro. That book is phenomenal. Great work to you. Yeah, occult psychology, and Chakra Nova, alchemic academic. Everything else you call me whatever you want, but just don't call me collect, all right? Appreciate y'all.
Hey man, we just
Appreciate y'all. I
here
appreciate
doing
y'all.
some spiritual work and in our pre-production meeting, Prime was referencing not Prime, but Sacred was referencing the spiritual man versus physical man and just kind of the downloads. And he said he had like 2 pages worth of notes. And I'm like, we're not about to go through both pages of your notes on this broadcast because, you know, Prime be having places to go. So we're going to refine that and get to an actual point. And this life is challenging. And I want to kind of just pose this question for y'all, the men on the panel. And I just want y'all to express yourself and understand that, you know, your expression and truth might be able to help someone along the line. But in your journey of being a spiritual man, I know that all 3 of these brothers are spiritual men. And not to say that that's a diss. I mean, I would rather be a spiritual man than just a purely physical man because everything that a physical man, a spiritual man could do, probably a little bit better, but I digress. Did y'all ever feel the pressure that being spiritual was not good enough? And, you know, was the physical, normal, mundane life ever appealing to you? And, like, how do y'all deal with that? Is it just an easy thing for you? Or is it hard to kind of, you know, be a spiritual person, knowing that you live in a physical world and finding yourself somewhere in the middle? Or do y'all just kind of have it in spades and just know some shit that I don't know? Let me know how y'all feel on the question.
The word is called sacrifice. Sacrifice, like, is probably one of the most important kind of just, I guess, themes of, you know, my journey so far in life, is giving up certain things and doing certain things that just others haven't done, and not looking for that, that's, I guess, that instant gratification that everybody looks for. I don't particularly care myself about like what is cool or what's kind of in the know at that time. I care more about what's pertinent for me. I'm always somebody who is around people that, you know, are hip to kind of what's going on in that given moment. But to be a spiritual man, you have to sacrifice what everybody else is doing to stick along your path, to, you know, to make sure that you're always following, you know, your own soul's journey. So it's, you know, it's all about sacrificing and giving up, you know, what everybody else is going along with in that given moment.
So Jeff, are you saying it's no fun?
Is it easy for you, fam? Like, No, is it easy for you? Do you have it in spades? Like you just seem like you just got it all figured out, fam. So let us know how you're able to feel completely okay in your spiritual being without feeling pressured by, copping the latest J's and things of that nature. I'm not saying that it don't affect you. I'm saying for the average listener and the average man, that's some shit that they gotta actually work through, like watching a football game every Sunday, keeping up with what's going on in sports and MMA, and I gotta go on my fishing trips on Saturday, and I gotta hunt, and I gotta do this. And it's like, okay, what about your spiritual development? Oh, I never thought about that because I'm too busy doing mundane things. So you completely vested and comfortable in your spirituality. How did you get there?
Think about sacrifice like in the terms of in whatever I guess you're looking for, whatever maybe your desire is. Think of quality over quantity. When we give up in that moment, what it is that you want, what it is you gain, is so much better, oftentimes, than what you could have got in that immediate moment. If you just hold on and give yourself that time and put that work in, the rewards are so much better. It's so much better. So let me not say it is sacrifice. It's tough. It's hard, but the rewards are 10 times fold, more than 10 times. It gets way better. Like if it's a girl you're after, don't go after the first girl. Wait, hold on. It's just the quality will come. Don't oftentimes if you're looking for a job, don't take that first that first offer. Maybe listen to the offer, but look at what other offers you have as well.
So you mean I shouldn't have took that first job where they had me selling knives?
But at the same time, maybe you needed that. Maybe you needed to learn some of those skills. But lots of times when we were first learning about jobs and first getting in the workforce, we took what they gave us, not realizing that there was so much more that we could have in that given moment.
Nigga, you don't know nothing about knives.
I don't know nothing about knives, but I definitely canvassed.
No, I wasn't talking to you. I'm talking to Hood. Like, yeah, you knew damn well you wasn't supposed to take that job about knives because you ain't know nothing about knives.
No, I didn't. I think that. I was in the first interview. I lost 275 to buy these knives. I was coming to job because I was broke. So if I had money to buy knives, it came there in the first place. Maybe if they would have gave me the knives, I would have sold them. But they didn't even give us the knives. We had to actually buy the knives and stuff. So that was kind of crazy.
Ginsu.
Yeah. But go ahead, Prime. And in your life, was it easy being a spiritual guy, or was it difficult? Having the dreads and living life, and people looking at you like this weird person.
Even before the dreads, they was looking at me like that. The dreads came later when I got more strengthened in my resolve about spirituality. So I would say early in life, man, because I'm a fraternal twin, my brother and I have some of the telepathy thing going on. So as I grew up, I started learning that everybody didn't understand that, or everybody didn't do that. But I also saw the world differently, man. When I was 7 years old, that's when Star Wars came out, right? So, I'm seeing like the Jedi and, just so many different things in my world that said magic was real. The other side was real. So like for me, I always had this a longing to be more of a human than what I would see just walking outside every day. Like, we got to go get groceries. Yeah, we got to go here. We got to go there. But why can't we do something spectacular? Like how you can't, shoot light out your fingers or something, or astral projection, right? I was learning about astral projection. I was reading about that when I was like 12. they had this book out called Secrets Behind the Iron Curtain. They were talking about the experiments in Russia, because that was when PSYOPs was big, man, when I was like in preteen, and people were writing about what's his name, the guy that could bend the spoons, Geller, I think his name was. But so anyway, my world showed me that there was possibilities of people being supernatural, superhuman, being able to do things that weren't normally talked about. So, like Jeff said, you know, for me, it was like that took my heart. I was like, man, yeah, I want to do that. I want to do that. And it wasn't no question at all. I was like, yeah, I want to do that. I should be doing that. That's what I'm made for. Now, did it make me look weird to my classmates and to my peer group? Hell yeah. But, you know, my resolve was just such that I didn't really care about that. I didn't really care about it. I knew, like, I was a nerd like hell, man. You know, girls passed me by on a regular. But like towards my last couple of years in high school, when I started getting more, I don't know how to say it, more confident about being happy about pursuing a spiritual path, that's when I started seeing people start, you know, responding to me better. So the things that were appealing about the so-called physical life, like I would see, you know, guys getting money and any girlfriend they wanted, you know, whatever would appeal to a teenage boy. As I started getting older and started understanding that the more resolved I became in my spiritual development, I could get those things too by different means. And like Jeff said, sometimes even better, right? So yeah, it made it more appealing to me to just keep on going because it was so different than the norm. So I stayed with the spiritual path because to me it was much more wide open than, okay, get up, go to school, get a good job, get married, get a house, have some kids, see your grandkids, die. There's so much more. There's so much more. Like, you know, I freaking talk to trees and shit. You know what I'm saying? Talk to birds. When the squirrel walks by or birds walk by, I feel like I'm communicating with them. You know what I'm saying? I look up at the stars at night. You know, I got my cousin said one time I was at a football game at my high school, and there was this plane flying by that normally wouldn't be, you know, over that airspace. And I'm like checking out the plane, and my cousin's like, everybody else looking at the cheerleaders. Why are you looking up in the sky?
I can definitely relate.
So yeah, man, for me,
that's me.
It's more appealing. It was more appealing to have more options to life, to think of myself in a higher potential than what was being shown to me on the regular.
Got you. Serpentine fire. What makes the physical life more appealing to the masses?
I think it's apparent.
Over
Everything is
the
apparent.
spiritual life. My fault.
Everything is apparent. So what's aesthetically pleasing to the average individual is generally something that they can see. And what they can see, they then translate to all of these other things that they think that they are going to then feel or have the opportunity to do based on the physical representation of something that they are paying attention to. So I think it's easy because it's what you get to see right then and there, right? So there's no smoke and mirrors, right? But then there is. So you get all surface level stuff. You get a person that looks good. You might get a person that is in shape. You might get a person who's awesome vegan. You might get a person who is the most supreme health of their life.
Can
But
read the tarot cards like no other.
like no other, but she might be a fucking idiot, right? She might be fucking insane, right? You
Wah,
know,
wah, wah.
like he literally might be like one throw from the cuckoo's nest, right? Like 7:30, he might be like 7:29, right? So I think it's easy to be pleased by the aesthetic, by something that looks good,
Yeah.
because the appearance is king in the society. Society is based on narratives. Narratives are based on perception. Perception is then based on those looks and those ideas that people get from those looks. So if I can be perceived to be with this awesome individual, that must mean in translation that I'm an awesome individual.
Okay. So what would
So
be
so
the solution in that? Like, what's the issue in that? What's the problem and what's the
I
solution in a simple
I
term,
don't.
in a general? Yes, you do. You know. That's why I'm
All right,
asking.
but right, all right. But I don't think that there's a necessity for a solution unless there is a perception or understanding of a problem.
Right.
Because
Right.
all through existence in our life that we can recognize and rectify through what we've experienced, we've seen nothing but the people that look the best get the best. We've seen
Okay.
nothing but that, right?
So
But
there's no
I
solution.
started out as a I I started out as a physical man, and then I became a spiritual man, less than maybe 13, 14 years ago. And I started out very shy as a kid, but when I got to a point of being able to impose my physicality on people, it was easy for me because the the the, the natural physicality of things it
Mhm.
came easy to me, right? Um, um, I was the guy that liked to fight three or four people at a time. I don't want to just fight one guy. I want to fight three, right? But then I got to a point where my ego and my perceived idea of a hierarchy in my life hit a road, right?
Mm.
So then when I became aware of my actions and then became aware of how frail that reality was, right? The physical reality. Then I became what's known now today as being spiritual.
Mm.
But what I got bored with was the idea of bragging, like the idea of I need to tell you how much fly I am because I'm fly. I got bored with it. I'm from Brooklyn. Like you won't meet nobody that's better at talking crap than niggas from Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Like you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's not even like a brag. That's just like, yo, these niggas will talk your breath to months to Sunday. Like they will, you understand? And you will leave believing everything that he said, even though everything he said was a lie. Like he will talk you out of everything, right?
I got a
But I
bridge I
got
want to
to a
sell
point,
you.
yeah, like, but I got to a point spiritually where I wanted to know what depth was. I wanted to understand what was behind the curtain. And once I got bored with physical feeling, I became intrigued by spiritual notions. And because I became intrigued by spiritual notions, I began to uncover layers of an onion that existed, which was spirituality. And in the center of that onion had my divinity. So
So,
it was easy for me to make the switch. It was easy for me to do the spiritual thing because now I could see what that girl is going to do before she going to do it. Now I know how she feels, even though she can't admit it to me, and I have to wait for her to want to admit it to me. I know it already. So it was easy for me because I got bored with physicality. I got bored with it.
Panic should have never taught you niggas psychomancy, but I digress. Um, Okay, next question, next topic. We're going to just ask these questions and he asks these topics. And I just ask that these young men, all of these young men on the panel, answer these questions honestly and truthfully and reflect upon their authentic truth so the world can sit and feast upon their authentic truth like a buffet at the Golden Corral. Okay,
What's that?
it's a serpent attack. Serpent attack, y'all. Serpent attack. So, as spiritual men, because y'all don't got the money, y'all don't got all of the things that women are looking for, we're going to remove money. We're going to remove sex off the table. And I want y'all to reflect your honest and deep truth in reflecting what do you offer your partners, because I can't offer my wife a lot of money, nor can I offer my wife porno style sex. But I'm praying that she loves me. So, I'm trying to figure out what is that I truly authentically and organically offer my wife outside of the physical life. So go ahead and, lay it out there on the Golden Corral buffet. So what is you, Jeff? You the ice cream, or is you the main course? You the salad bar, the appetizers? What you gonna be today?
I don't know, but I'll just say, as far as what I can offer, as a spiritual man who's been through experiences he's been through, having this human experiences, I can offer guidance, and in a form of like companionship that is needed, like not needed because you need me, but needed because you like everybody out here is in need. Of something like in some form or fashion, uh, and the guidance that I can provide is something that I can't particularly put it all together like my point in words, but it's something that I know that folks who have experienced me in their lives have appreciated, and when it hasn't been a part of their lives, they've missed it. I'll say that. So yeah, just a level of guidance and support, a level of support, like somebody like me, and just every man on this panel has a different sense of loyalty. Um, to
Talk
what
about it. Talk about it.
every man on this panel has a different sense of loyalty than most men who are out here. Physical men, they out here in the world, and that's what matters to them. You ain't gonna get too many guys out here who's really down for the right causes. So when you find those, don't make sure you really appreciate and not only appreciate, but you support and provide what that spiritual man needs, because that spiritual man he needs something different than the physical man. He needs something different. So that's a big thing. Every man on this panel is working like little another point that kind of off the question, but everybody is working is doing this work for real, and that kind of it needs to be known that just because somebody may not resonate with you, that they aren't doing what they're supposed to do, and aren't speaking their truth and staying their path. That needs to be respected. And if somebody doesn't resonate, if one spiritual man doesn't resonate with you, then maybe that man, maybe his message isn't for you, but somebody else can be. But at the same time, every man is still we're here for a reason. So just remember that and respect that, and I just want to mention that.
Word. I would say, man, when you take money and sex out of the picture, I think the most important thing is presence. I did not say PRESENTS. I said PRE. Hold on, let me misspell this for you. ENCE. So you got to be there, right? And it's not just about being there with your physical lump of flesh, your body, your water bag, whatever, right? Because you could stand beside somebody all day and not contribute, nothing to the conversation, nothing to their well-being. When I say presence, I mean being there and being consciously aware. So first and foremost, and I was just telling a friend of mine this the other day, I live by the airplane rule. If you've ever taken an airplane flight and they go through the emergency landing procedures with you, they say, and if the oxygen masks fall down, please put on your mask before helping others with theirs, right? So first and foremost, with presence comes health. If you're taking care of yourself, then you'll have the strength and ability to help others. If you ain't taking care of yourself, then what good is your presence? Like, I don't want nobody hanging around me like, like I'm like, nah, get away, homie. Go heal yourself before you come around here with that. You know what I mean? I don't want nobody hanging around me that's sick. So first and foremost, with that presence comes health. And then, outside of just being there and being healthy, listening, like being present with your whole being, feeling, listening, being attentive, being aware, but at the same time, not, how do I say this? You want to be into your partner wholly, WHOLLY, as well as holy, HOLY. You want to be into your partner wholly, but not to the point where it's draining you. And if it shouldn't be draining you if you're taking care of yourself. So besides money and sex, I would say your health, your healthy presence, and your attention.
All
Solid.
these days.
Solid. Serpentini. I want extra serpentini on my pizza. What what should a man offer? What can a man offer to his divine partner besides money and sex? Because this might seem a little boring and a little frustrating to people, but you got to understand, in this world you can be in a relationship and a person is like, as a man, right? Ladies, y'all might not understand this, but you're dating and you're being judged and you're being chastised, not because you're not a great guy, not because you don't have a lot to offer. You can fix a flat, change oil, do all types of awesome stuff, but you may not be rich and you may not be the sexiest guy on the block. However, with all that being said, Serpentini, what can you offer in your relationships besides sex and money? And before we get to your question or your answer, just want to thank Multiple Paths. Thank you, Brandy Barber, because I've been actually going hard with this YouTube stuff because I realize need to go harder with this. So support, donations, things of that nature are very much welcomed and appreciated. So thank you to you young ladies for your continued effort and support in this platform. But with all that being said,
Oh, first
Can't
thing
hear
I
you,
would
Hood.
say, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Hood's mic went out.
All right. The first thing I would say would be actual companionship. I think the lost idea within a lot of relationships is actually the idea of being there for someone outside of what you can do for them in a pleasurable way. And I think pleasure and all of those things that a lot of relationships are wrapped around are ultimately the things that end up destroying those relationships. So So the first thing I would say would be companionship. You know, you're gonna have somebody with depth, somebody that has layers, somebody who is not monkey see, monkey do, or you see what you get. Like that's not the individual that you would get, but someone who can hold your darkest secrets and cherish you at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Someone who can allow you to understand that you have more space than you give yourself credit for. And then somebody who can be the other half in a symbiotic relationship, somebody who can be your other half and be the person that you are not when you need a decent, rational person. So I'd say there are a plethora of things that I would and I see as necessities to bring to a relationship that have nothing to do with money and sex. Because in my humble opinion, money and sex clouds it all. So 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 if we take out the figments of our imagination, then there are no more illusions that are able to hold up the veil.
Okay.
Once that veil is removed, now it's just two people.
So just I'm gonna keep it there. I'm gonna keep it there, and I'm gonna stick with you because we're gonna just kind of piggyback off that first question and bring it to the women. What do you look for as a spiritual, excuse me, as a spiritual man? What do you look for in a woman other than her looks and what she can do for you? So in this day and time, we always deal with, she's a 10, you know, and she can do it like this and she can do it like that. Now, what if she can't do it like this or do it like that? And she's
Drop it
not,
like it's hot.
she's not a ta-ta-ta-licious, she just kind of regular, degular. What do you like a woman like that? Or okay, let me reframe it. What do you look for in a woman other than her looks and what she can do for you?
Resilience.
The same thing, the same exact thing that I answered the last question with. It'll start with depth. I'm looking for the mirror, right? So um I need her to reflect onto me so I can reflect back onto her. So depth is number one. Like I need layers.
Bro, death or depth? Because I'm so,
Depth.
With a
D E
I
P
went to public school, man. I keep
D
trying to tell
E
y'all,
P
man.
T
I'm not
H.
good with these words.
DEPTH. 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 Okay.
We
I need
spelling
depth.
today.
Right?
Right.
Goodness gracious.
I may need to go back to
Nigga.
this class.
I know. I'm gonna
All
get
right. I look for depth. I look for disposition, sense of humor, level.
Man, I ain't seen none of these
What type
qualities
of?
in the ill minute, yo. You
He look.
Woo,
That's why he looking.
maybe that's why. Maybe that's why I'm still looking. Maybe that's why I'm still looking. You know what I'm
this
saying?
brother says sense of humor.
Good
All right.
disposition.
A good
Yeah.
disposition.
Yeah.
If I
Yeah.
got a good joke in the past 15 years,
Word, man.
I'm a liar, bro. I ain't heard a chick drop a good mama joke on me in an ill minute, man. But you triggering me right now, serpent. I know what it feels like now to listen to you from the outside looking.
But I'm not.
Go ahead. Depth,
I'm not even doing
disposition.
anything. What am I doing? What am
You
I doing
speaking
right
your
now?
truth,
Like,
man. It's
Yep.
me,
Truth.
man.
Truth.
Go ahead.
like I
It's
said, depth,
beautiful.
disposition, sense of humor.
Mhm.
I want to see. I want to experience that
I gotta
person's level of
interrupt you
kindness.
again. Ladies, take notes. This man just dropped some crazy jewels on your head.
Yep.
I want
Crazy.
to experience. I want to experience her level of kindness to people that she doesn't have to be kind to. Right. I want to see how she acts around people that she doesn't have to deal with. And then I want to see how she treats her family. Like that's it.
Mhm. Man,
That's
damn.
it.
This shit, man. Repeat that shit, bro. That's so good. That was good, man. That was good. I'm gonna clip this part, man. This
Depth,
was woo.
depth, that's DEP. I said depth, that's DEPTH, depth. All right. Disposition, all right. Personality, sense of humor, all right. Personality is disposition, okay. And then, like I said, I need to experience her level of kindness around people that she doesn't have to be kind to.
Ooh,
And I need to experience how she is with her family.
no wonder your ass
You know?
single. You got your ass single, Jack.
Oh, you stupid.
You is a single ass nigga, boy. I can tell.
But you see, in none of that I said fat ass, you know what I'm saying, big tits or bank account, right? I didn't say none of that, right?
But this is the energy that
So I
you
feel like I'm not even asking for a lot. Because I ain't even talking about your glamour features. So I'm not asking for a lot. Because you put all your stock in glamour features. I'm sorry, trigger moment. Y'all put most of y'all stock in physical features. I don't put my stock in physical features. So that's common to me. So show me more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Single serpent.
Know,
we're going man. Jeff Prime, man, what do y'all look for? Because this is like, think about these answers. I'm gonna really sit and reflect on y'all answers because this is like must see TV. What do y'all got, man? What do y'all look for in a woman besides
resilience, man? When I say resilience, to me, it's like if you are introspective, if you deep, right, then you are striving to reach the core of your being. And when I say resilience, let me break that down. I mean, let me say a better word, adaptability, right? Because I've been in some situations in my life where things switch in an instant. Like I was with my wife when we were in DC a while back, and I had to explain to her that this woman slumped down in front of a store was going through like a, what they call that, the heroin sleep, you know, the nod, and then right. And my wife was like, I didn't even know that. I didn't even see that, you know, because she wasn't born or raised around that kind of stuff, right? I done seen, you know, holes in people when they don't have no more track marks. You know what I'm saying? I've seen people succumb to some weird stuff. I've been chased by a mob. You know, I've had the most glorious of days as well as some of the weirdest of days. So I've seen life go from like one extreme to the other, and sometimes in a few seconds, right? Been in shootouts, not shooting, but in the middle trying to make sure I didn't get shot. You know what I'm saying? So my life has been this story, and stuff changed quick. And I've noticed that the people that I've hung with that are able to adapt to those kind of things are very resilient because of one or two reasons. One, they either caught up on survival mode and they'll just jumpy and skittish, and that ain't the person I'm talking about. Or two, they so into themselves in terms of checking their behavior, checking their surroundings, you know, checking how they interface with the world, that they have become deep individuals. So I'm saying resilience and adaptability. If a woman has that, she can like conquer any damn thing. If a woman or a man has that, they can conquer, you know, anything that life throws at them. And that's the kind of person I want to hang with, because you never know what life's going to throw at you.
No matter what she looked like, huh?
So I'm going to tell you something. I was 12 and I was talking to this girl on the phone, and this other cat in school was talking to her too, right? And it became like this competition thing. Like we were both trying to woo her. I don't know why, you know, it was puberty, whatever, right? So after a while, you know, she said she was going to come to where we both went to school to meet us both, right? And I was like, okay, what's this about, right? And you know, so the other guy came running up to me. He was like, man, I seen her. She coming towards the school. You can have her, right? And I'm thinking, what? You know, so I see her, and you know, she didn't have like the body of you know, like a Coca-Cola bottle or nothing like that, but she didn't look bad to me. You know what I'm saying? And I stuck around with her. We formed a decent relationship / friendship. I got my ass beat because I got home late trying to hang around her, caught the wrong bus. Mama's like, where you at? So I'm saying that to say that even though she didn't look, you know, bad to me, she wasn't like my ideal of what I would have chased or what I would have went for. So I determined after her, I said, I ain't gonna do no more blind dating. I ain't gonna do no more. I'm on the phone hollering and I'm just gonna hope you look all right. I said, no, if I'm gonna be with somebody, they gotta at least look a certain way for me to be happy being with them. And you know, I can't sacrifice that because I don't want to wake up and go, I'm just saying, I'm sorry. You call me shallow if you want to on that one, but I ain't saying she got to be perfect, but she better have some cute dimples or some nice eyes, something. You know what I'm saying? Something for me to look at and go, that's it. Something.
Yeah.
Jeff, say
that adaptability, like that resilience that's key, because life is wild out here, in a sense of just, you know, things change, and we grow, and for us to be able to grow together, you have to be able to have gone through some things. And I remember, I think one time I mentioned, I hope that to be able to go along this path, like you aren't kind of forced, but in a sense, like I'm just starting to realize, like I don't know if people really have an option. It's like if you're here, I mean, you really don't have an option. You kind of are forced, or else, like, what else is there to do? But back to the question, like what it is I'm looking for. You know, adaptability is you know, to that point is one thing, because, you know, as far as the looks and the physical features of a woman, of what I desire, that can kind of change depending on the moment of what I'm going through. You know, I may just be in a mode of like, you know, I'm this, the way I feel, like I may be looking for some type of girl that you would see in a magazine, but at the same time, honestly, you know, like we joke about toxic delicious, but for real, like right now, I might just be looking for a big mama, like, you know, like it may be a thick chick with a cute face, like who can cook for me, like that's all I want. I just want to go over her house, eat a home cooked meal, and talk some ish, and you know, just chill like that.
Listen, when did this turn into a dating show? When did this turn into a dating show?
I'm so confused. I
mean, like, all right.
Better be careful what you're asking for.
I know.
Because what I'm hearing, it's hard to say, is that it's hard for y'all to process a relationship outside of the physicality, to which it might be a little bit more extra work done. Because not to say that you want a mud duck or something to that effect, because, you know, that could be the overall understanding, but what my wife truly looks like is inconsequential to the inner energy that she possesses. And ultimately, if I was to just fixate on the physical reality, and that, not my wife, but just general people in life, who I am as a person, looks had nothing to do with the development of my character, dignity, integrity, work ethic, you know, all of the intrinsic value. I've been actually in communion with some ugly ass motherfuckers. So, you know, I've always known to look past that and kind of stay I'm an ugly ass
Like you
motherfucker
said,
to some
humble,
persons,
staying humble.
very
Hold on,
humble,
hold on, hold
very
on. Is that
general.
a distinction? Ugly? Is that a distinction?
That's a
It
it,
is
Ugly?
yeah,
now.
it is
Oogly.
because you can be ugly, right?
Oh,
But then you can be an ugly ass motherfucker, and that's a whole different area energy of ugly. And I know that
Shaba.
a lot of y'all wouldn't be able to stand in the fire of an ugly ass because everything, you know what, a person could have all of the gifts, have the best vagina in the world, all of the money, and men would be like, I can't do it because she's too ugly, right?
Mm,
And not say it verbally, but feel it and reject energy that, might be good for you because when we don't look in the mirror and
yeah.
realize, fuck, you trash yourself. You know what I'm saying? You the really trash one, but you know, how
But
many times online you see fat ass, broke ass, lazy ass dudes be on the internet? Oh, she's fat. Oh,
right,
she's this. Oh,
right.
she's that.
Man,
Like,
look at
nigga,
yourself, homie.
you trash, right? But that's normal for men. Like, it's
Yep,
so normal for men
yep.
to look at women and be like, oh, you a this, you a that. So
I'm gonna tell you
my shit
something.
is shallow how. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
that's how I view relationships. But go ahead.
Something that was weird to me was that as I started progressing in my introspection, in my internal reviews, as Serpent would say. I know you said another word, Serpent, and I'll get it, but um, as I started living more from the inside out and started finding people in my life that were doing the same, particularly women, what I noticed was different women started looking cuter to me and prettier
Mm,
to me, where other brothers would look at them and be like, nah, man, she ain't, she ain't hitting, she ain't rocking it. And it's like, I'm thinking maybe I'm seeing this wrong, but then I started learning that my idea of beauty
it's
started
different.
evolving, right? Because what did Red Fox say? He said, "Beauty skin deep, uglies to the bone." Right? You could take the reverse of that,
Mm,
and somebody that's like really pretty on the inside to the bone, it's gonna
mm,
come out. It's gonna
mm.
come out somehow or another, whether it's how they walk, talk, or whatever. It's gonna shine, and it's gonna be for the people that recognize it. You know?
So let's that's an interesting segue because in
Hmm.
reference to
Hmm.
relating to the
Hmm.
opposite sex, you know,
Hmm.
can we as men, build up positive relationships and do y'all have any experience having positive relationships with women with sex being removed completely off the table, not by her, not because you wanted to smash and she told you no, and so now you friend zone and you secretly want to smash them cheeks. If she texts you like, all right, come on, little nigga, your ass will be in your little catching an Uber there, in 0.5 seconds, that type of energy. But if sex is completely moved off the table initially and, maybe you're married, maybe you just don't want to, you're not sexually attracted to her, but can you still build positive relationships with women on the opposite sex? And I guess that would be twofold. Do women let y'all do that without giving, like, sometimes, you can have a close relationship with a woman and she'd be like,
Mm.
well, are you gonna smash these cheeks yet?
I know, man.
And
Man,
so the question is, when you remove sex off the table, what does the relationship look like with the opposite sex?
I'm gonna say this, man, because anyway, you gotta have something else to do. Like if she hot for you and you hot for her in some kind of way, but y'all trying to like ignore that to do something, then you gotta be doing something, right? If there ain't nothing else to do, then that sex might win. That's all I'm gonna say to that, right? And I would say the relationships that I've built with women in my life that have not been of a sexual nature have always had some utility value to them. I'm not talking about, of course, I'm not talking about family. I'm talking about, people you meet, right? Women that I've met in my life that I've not had a sexual relationship with, but that we've been tight. It whether it was work, whether it was school or some kind of business. There was something that we were working on together. I don't see how, if you don't have that, it's just going to build up a lot of sexual tension.
Yeah, women.
So you just not like in the realms of being with a woman and just hanging out, watching movies and like, you know, just regular hangout shit. You feel like it has to be something productive.
It
Or
does,
else
man. If I'm hanging out with a chick like that, I'm
This is interesting because, you know, Steve Harvey said that men and women can't be friends. And I think that's more of.
Uh-oh, your mic just went out. Oh, there you go. Okay.
So we can allude to say like, okay, men and women can't just hang out, but men and women can work on projects together.
Nah, okay. I think I could hang out with a woman as long as it wasn't intimate hanging out. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to be watching movies every weekend with a chick. You know what I'm saying? I'll do that with my wife, right? But let me say before I was married, okay? Even before I was married, I'm not spending that much time with a chick if we ain't intimate, because I don't want to mess up my chances with some woman that I would be interested in being intimate with. Because if she's there taking all my time and we ain't intimate, then something's going on. Something's in the works, whether it's her thinking subconsciously or me thinking subconsciously. I'm not going to be spending that kind of time with nobody if it ain't going nowhere, because it's going to mess up my chances of spending that time with somebody that it is going somewhere with. Can a man and a woman be friends? Hell yeah. Most of the people in my life that I'm friends with are women. And to this day, a lot of them are my exes, and I'm married now. So of course I ain't smashing, but I'll call them for advice. I'll call them because I'm not here. Look at their face. I don't want to die. I'm married to a black woman, man. I ain't trying to die.
Wait.
So
what?
Anyway,
what happened?
Nothing. So all I'm saying is a man and a woman can be friends, but you got to know your boundaries, right? If either one of y'all are trying to smash, y'all got to put up some boundaries, period. If neither one of y'all trying to smash each other, then yeah, y'all can hang out, watch movies, and eat ice cream because it's cool. But if one of y'all got something else in mind, it don't fly. It can't work. Can't work.
Bullshit.
DM Serpent.
Bullshit.
Man, go ahead,
Bullshit.
man. DM Serpent, man. Go ahead.
That's
man.
bullshit. That's bullshit.
Man, he mad.
I'm not mad. I'm not. Don't say I'm mad. Don't
That ain't the towel, Prime.
No,
I want to hear.
But go ahead. Go ahead.
I wholeheartedly disagree. What say you, young man, about a young woman that you might have grown up with? Right? She might be tomboy-ish, but she's still fly, right? Y'all still got that camaraderie though, like brother, sister, but it just happened to materialize. You trying to tell me they can't be friends no more?
No, I'm not saying that. They can be friends. They can be friends.
I'm saying, but you're saying they can't be friends with sex involved.
No, they can be.
That's what you said.
I'm not saying that, because I also said that I'm even friends now, even though I'm married now, right? I'm still in touch with girlfriends from my past that I'm not having sexual relationships with, but you know, we talk for advice or other things, or I keep up with their family because I know their family and they know mine. But it's just friends.
Y'all bold with it, man.
I think
y'all some good guys.
I think the answer is not complicated. It's just difficult for people to deal with.
Yes, it's difficult.
So the answer is the same answer to the same question that bothers men up until now. Why do you put the female vagina or sex on a pedestal, and does that pedestal match the pedestal that she puts up? because I think the pedestal is completely different. I think there's a huge disproportionate view to that pedestal, and I think it's the man's issue with a woman's sexual freedom, so to speak, liberation, they like to call it nowadays. I think that's the issue that ultimately comes up. Like the male would love to have 5 or 6 women, but the male would not love for his woman to have 5 or 6 men. So
unless he's
the only
evolved.
reason that relationship,
Oh man, damn.
Yeah, gotta go somewhere with that one.
Yeah, he was about to go somewhere with that one. I was waiting for it. Hopefully, he hop back on here. There you go.
You will.
There you go.
so the only reason I think that relationship, that friendship with the male and the female hasn't worked or has not been known to work up until now is that the people that are involved with it have an issue with the sex problem. And that's the same issue within regular relationships.
Or they weren't honest with each other.
So
There's one of them. That's what
but
I'm
it's
saying. One of them
but
is
it's
lying.
but the honesty is usually in reference to sex.
Yes.
It's not like,
Yes.
yeah, you was in my bank account last week, so I can't fuck with you. No, it's you spread your legs for such and such, so we got an issue right now. Or you was effing such and such, and we got an issue right now. Yeah, because you're not supposed to eat her pom pom like you eat my pom pom. Like you're not supposed to. I'm sorry, I didn't. You know what? I don't want to get kicked off. I'm sorry.
No. Okay,
I'm
listen. I was having this
I'm
conversation
stopping.
earlier. I was having this.
I'm stopping.
I was having this conversation earlier in reference to like men and their true happiness and why we never are understood in our relationships for good or bad, right? Because we're happy within our relationships with our partner because our partner is a woman. She's not the woman. She's not the prototypical woman. She's not the end all be all to women. Like women didn't stop being made when we met our wives.
Right.
They coming out stronger, harder, thicker,
The
wetter.
3.0 model.
Listen, it gets crazy.
Advanced.
So now, but your happiness is
Say all
specifically
that. You have to say all
designed.
that.
Your happiness is specifically designed to being with a woman, right? So what tends to happen is that a woman will take offense to that, even though you're in a relationship with a woman, which is her, right? It's like, why do you want to be with a woman so bad? Because I'm with you. So it's not like because we are in a relationship that desire goes away. A lot of times we imagine that our eyes just get, picked out of our eye sockets, right? And we just walk in these streets and just don't see nothing, and we don't see no examples of a woman. We see no examples of these types of energies, and now we all sit here in Shadowland because the fact that a man wants a relationship with a woman is evident by him being in with a partner, but it tends to go in one ear out the other. This is very like intricate and very sensitive because it sounds crazy to say that I'm happy being with a woman, but you're the woman that I'm supposed to be happy with. But there's a responsibility in that because I still have feelings. I still have eyes. I still have drives. Like if you ever get into a relationship with a woman, she might want you to be a beta male. And beta meaning that you're completely focused in and locked in to her. But if it's not whether you're alpha or a beta, you're just a normal ass dude. Because the same way that you got with your wife, if your wife wasn't your wife and her name was Pamela and she was a little skinnier and she had a little lighter skin, you would still be all up on that shorty the same way you would have been on your wife. And that's just the reality because dudes are not picky when it comes to women, except when we being mistreated, which is a natural byproduct of the relationship because the nature of men gets completely rejected and kicked out the window. So not to go on a long tangent, which I've already did, but I think that developing relationships outside of sex is really going to be able to keen in to a man's happiness. And so what would generally happen is that you will get friend zone and you will get used and abused. My only solution is to be the best man that you possibly can be and rest and deal with that, because a woman's going to want you because you're great, right?
Mhm.
Meaning that she wants to use you, right? If you didn't have anything to offer her and you were broke and you were disgusting, she would not deal with you because she has nothing that she can use you for, right? So the
Right.
reality of relationships is that you got to be your best self, because your wife is going to use you. That's the whole point of it, you know.
Photos at
So,
the temple.
and if you're weak,
Yep.
if you don't have these conversations outside of sex, outside of money, y'all talk about resilience and adaptability.
Mhm.
These are excellent questions that I wish I would have had in previous relationships, you know, because maybe I would have knew that she was going to leave me at the drop of a dime. You feel me? But
There's a good book I want to recommend. And when my wife and I were going through counseling, our pastor recommended a book, and both of us read it, and we were like, we don't like this book, you know, get us something else, right? He gave us like 3 books to read. And then so he recommended this book called, I think it's called either the 101 or the 99 Tough Questions by Susan Piver, Piver. And basically it's the subtitle is like the hard questions that you need to ask before you get married. And he made us sit through, and we both wrote down answers to all of the questions on our own. And then we had to write down answers together. And it let me know that my wife was to be my wife. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, even where we had differences, we were still close enough in our answers where we could work things out. And we were talking about it, and we were willing to talk about it. I would say if you contemplate in marriage, get that book, The 99 Tough Questions by Susan Piver. Because if you can't get through those questions with somebody, you shouldn't be marrying them. So a subset of those questions could also go for a relationship. Such as, you know, how much money do you want to have? How much money will you spend out of a slush fund? You know, do you want to be in a house or an apartment? Do you want to live in the city or the country? How many kids do you want to have? Yeah, that's it. That joint was the bomb. I recommend that to single people that I know, because it helps put their life in perspective enough where they can, when they meet Licious or her cousin, they can be like, yo, but seriously, how do you really feel about pets in the house? You know what I'm saying?
And I want to say this. I want to say this to Tora real quick, and I don't mean no offense to this, but it's easy for a woman to say that the relationship is strictly platonic if you're not sexually attracted to the guy. If I'm a man that's sexually attracted to a woman, I can say that it's strictly platonic. But I never heard a man say, you know, I'm with me and her is just friends, and she don't even let me hit, and I'm perfectly fine with that. You know what I'm saying? More or less, a dude's not even gonna say it or whatever. It'd be like, oh yeah, that's my friend, that's the homie, or whatever the case may be, to his girlfriend or something like that. But if you single and you want somebody to be in your life and be in a relationship, and you got this woman telling you, oh, I think you would be a cool friend to be with, and it's exceptions to the rule. I'm talking about general experience as a man.
Man.
I'm not nobody friend.
Yeah.
I want to get married. I'm here to date, to be married, and that's the reason why I want to know your mama, your daddy. What you want to play pogo sticks together? You want to go play pool? You want to do something inconsequential? Waste your time, waste your life, and consider that a friendship? That's perfectly fine. But you got to know what you want out here as a man and be very intentional, especially with a woman, because she's happy to call you a friend. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say Allison has a question too.
But what were you saying though? I know several people who are friends who end up getting too much advice or help from the opposite sex and ended up divorced and remarried to the needy people. Should I be needing more help? I think in relationships, if you don't have a third party that is not versus one side or other, you struggling in your relationship because both of y'all are right and both of y'all are wrong.
Yeah.
And if y'all not going to sit and understand each other one on one because y'all at opposite ends, y'all want to fight each other in all fair and love and war. So it's hard to differentiate between love and war unless you have an actual counselor or a third party who is unbiased. You know, marriage counselors save relationships. You know what I'm saying? If the relationship is there to be saved. Where most people struggle at relationships is when two people don't know a shit about repairing a relationship, healing a relationship, can't even offer you no books. Like, did y'all read the hard questions before y'all got married?
Right.
You know, we need advice. We need counsel in our relationships as much as possible. That's why I want to meet your mama. That's why I want to meet your daddy. I want you to meet my mama. I want you to meet my daddy so you can get a full feel. I want you to meet my brothers, my sisters, my uncles, my cousins. If you're dealing with a person and you don't know nothing about them, leave that motherfucker alone.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I think that question came from what I said when I talked about the fact that I have ex-girlfriends still in my life that I'm friends with. And I know for Allison, it might be hard for you to believe. For other people, it might be hard to believe. But I'm going to tell you like this. I took my wife to meet one of my ex-girlfriends who was my firstie. Let's just put it that way. And we've known each other since I was 18, right? I've known her longer than most people that have been in my life, and she knows me well. When I took my wife to meet her, if she said to me, I don't think you should be with her, I think something's wrong, then I would have given it a second thought. I'm not saying I would have necessarily followed it, but I definitely would have given it some thought because she knows me better than most people in this world. But she didn't say that. She liked her and said, I see why you like her. You know what I'm saying? Because she's a true friend. Now, would I take my wife to somebody I only knew for 3 months and ask for advice? Because that's not the move. You know what I'm saying? So when I say friend, I mean friend. And I know most guys might say that and might mean something different, but I'm a different kind of motherfucker.
And I want it, but like in the world and dating, they not going to be dating you, Prime. You know what I'm saying? In general, if a woman feel like she got a friend, she like 99% of the time she is in a whole minefield with that dude because she don't know if that dude really like her or not, because dudes do not have the capability to be friends. Specifically you, maybe not you, but general dudes want to smash them cakes. Okay, and they will fake the funk. A dude will lie and flex and reflex and reaccentuate himself, play mental mind games, don't answer the phone when she called, when she need a tire flat, just because this is her friend, right? And she's in an emergency situation. Hey, can you help me? I'm stranded. He mad, right? Because why you always calling me? Why you calling me when you need your tire change, right? Because you my friend. Why don't you call your boyfriend? He at work. You know what I'm saying? But see, the dude, like say he your friend, but then you start telling them about how your dude be tearing it out the frame.
It's certain conversations you just don't have, man, because you don't want to cross those boundaries, because then it's like what Allison said, you be getting too much advice, right? There's certain conversations you just don't have.
And it's really important to not take the information personal, because it might not be happening to you and it may not be in your specific situation. But generally, you can test the man out very simply and offer him some vagine. If he be like, girl, you know we friends, you can't do that, then that's your sincere friend. Yeah. Now, if you ask me that, you think I'm your friend, I might do a whole 180 and be like, we together now because you done gave me some good cooter, right? So you just got to be very mindful out here in these streets. I think we beat that question up. Anybody got anything? All right. We need to get to this question. I kind of been saving this question for the last. I I need y'all to answer this with y'all full honesty, full truth, and I want Sacred to go last on this one, if y'all don't mind. But not this. Ain't the question though. This is the question right here. How do you know as a man if you're being seduced or if the woman really likes you?
If your energy getting drained, if your energy is getting drained, then you know you being seduced. But the only way to know that your energy is being drained is if you truly know yourself. Because if you don't know yourself, you can be fooled into thinking something about yourself that ain't true. So it's a return on investment. It's a return on investment of your energy.
Yeah, every relationship is a contract on some sort. Like every relationship is
Y'all been talking about that. You and Prime been saying that. Elaborate on that. The contract and all of that. Like it sound good, but I need some elaboration. I need to see it in real life. What did that look like? If every relationship is a contract, what does that look like in real terms?
Every relationship.
Talk about it.
Yeah, everything is a give and take. It's like just like my natural kind of being, like I want to give. I want to give what I have. Like it fulfills me. Like to be able to offer somebody what I can provide. But that natural being at the same time gets taken advantage of. Because people love that. People love givers. People love folk who are willing to offer something. But so many times, people who are willing to give get they don't receive. People like us don't receive oftentimes what we whether it's what we deserve, whether we feel we deserve, all that, and that's stuff that we got to work on to determine what is our worth and how do we make sure that we receive what our worth is. But yeah, when I say that contract, is like, and it's everybody has that choice of signing off what you're willing to.
Man, y'all too deep for me today. Y'all got y'all deep boy certificates today. Y'all did not even tell me y'all signed up for the deep certificate class, boy.
I told Prime it's been a week. It's been a shadow week. But yeah, it's like, man, for real, like everybody has a choice of what they're willing to give, and and what they want to receive. And if you feel as though you're not receiving what you think you're supposed to receive, to put to his point of his video this morning of just, or not this morning, but the crypto last night of us not receiving what we think we may be receiving, what we should be receiving based off of the effort we put in and stuff like that. That's real talk that is happening to everyone. It's happening. It's happening to everyone, and it's your choice of what you're willing to give up to in order to receive what you think you deserve. So yeah, to the point of contracts, that's kind of why I keep saying that word contracts.
I love it, man. I love it. Serpent, how do you know if you're being seduced or if she really likes you?
Oh, based in life experience and being on both sides of the coin, I'm not gonna tip my hat as to which side I was on more than the other, because that's inconsequential.
I'm just trying not to say that.
I kind of figure where you going to lean to, but I'll keep going.
But what I will say is that what I spoke about in the pregame meeting was a level of personal discernment. And when I'm talking about discernment, and we talk about seduction versus true expression of feelings for another individual, then I think I need to see her in compromising positions, and I need to see her level of affliction towards willing to be vulnerable when she doesn't have to be.
Man,
So
y'all boys got
Hmm.
the deep certificate today. Y'all get the gold
so
star, man. Y'all been doing y'all homework.
so,
Damn. He said,
so
hold on, man. He said
Gotta
that
unpack that.
he needs to see a woman in vulnerable positions because if she completely comfortable in your essence and aura, you don't know if she taking advantage of you or seducing you because you that guy.
Yep.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Yep.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And
And honestly, the answer really points to the idea of sex hurting your personal reality or your
Mhm.
personality or your idea or this facade that you have, which I call the ego sex trap,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm. Mhm.
So the ego sex trap is easy because you have a physical man, probably have a physical woman in some form of fashion. Not saying that they can't have spiritual elements, but if
Wah, 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 wah.
we're talking about physical, we're talking about a man that gets off on being able to please women and vice versa, right? Well, the
Mhm.
ego, the sex ego trap would be because I can get all of these women off. I think I'm the shit,
Mhm.
and my shit is better than anybody else's shit. So
Mhm.
therefore, whatever woman I deal with, she's gonna be submissive to me because I'm the shit,
Mhm.
right? And the sex trap goes the opposite way too. But the problem is the woman has a pedestal for her yoni and you have a pedestal for her yoni. Does that pedestal match up? Right?
Mhm.
Right? Because you probably put it up on a higher
I
pedestal
thought
than she
I
does.
thought it was called a sacred energy exchange, meaning that one
Mm-hmm.
thing wasn't
Mm-hmm.
better than the other. They was equally being exchanged. So the
Mhm.
Nope.
phallus and the
Nope.
yoni is equal.
Nope.
Uh,
Yep.
Nope.
Ling 'em on a pedestal.
Nope. Nope. She doesn't view it that way, but it's not her fault that she doesn't view it that way because you don't view it that way. You know what I'm saying? You put it up on the pedestal, right? She could get up tomorrow and decide she want to give it away freely, or get up tomorrow and decide she don't want to give it away at all.
At all. Yep.
You put it up on the pedestal. So therefore, when it does get given away in what you perceive to be something that's easy, you can't deal with it because that goes against your sexual ego trap. But I
Mm.
digress.
Mm.
So hold on, we got to unpack this because we
Mhm.
need to figure out where we're at as a society real quick. So are people withholding sex because it is the idea situated with this imaginary guy that don't want his woman to have sex with nobody else? So whether she's having sex or not, she's never going to say it because she knows that her imaginary husband that don't exist, right, is not going to want her to be an easy lay. However,
Mhm.
she
Hmm.
can,
Hmm.
in secret, be that thing which she
Easy
might
lay.
feel
She could be
that
that easy lay.
she is. And not in a
Yeah.
disrespectful way, but
No.
what is the verbalizations in reference to the easy
Tatiana. Oh,
access?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I thought you. I'm sorry. This wasn't that part of the show. My bad. I
No,
apologize.
it was the timing was impeccable on that. I love it, actually. I just don't want to show the people how
But
much I
see,
love that, you know? They think
but
I'm sick.
but see, there's a sacredness. There's a sacredness to that too.
Yeah. When you
When a
say it,
woman is mature, I know
Tatiana,
Tata Liz, that's right,
Tatiana.
Tata Liz. When a woman is not scared of her sexuality, right? When a woman learns that she is just as worthy of pleasure as anybody else on the planet, and she's willing to go out and get it, let's say in a manner that's physically and spiritually and emotionally safe for her, right?
Mm-hmm. Ashe.
And then she experiences that part of her life, she can do nothing but blossom from it. Now, just like a man can go out and have as many sexual experiences as he chooses to, but somehow not seem to be deemed unclean or whatever, it's the same thing for a woman. If you steaming and you taking care of yourself and you wash every day, then you clean. You have cycles that clean you out, period. Okay. Now, if you a man or a woman and you out here raw dogging any old thing that come by, then yeah, you're going to have some bacteria build up, probably some viruses and some other things that,
Not
just
the
going to be
B word. Not the
nasty. I'm
B
just
word.
saying, man. Right. But if you are healthily about
I didn't know we was
finding
going
out,
to the gynecologist. I didn't know we was
hey
going to
man,
the
you got
gynecologist.
to, got to,
I'm messing
because
with you. I'm sorry.
dudes be carrying some stuff too. So all I'm saying
Yeah,
is,
yeah. That urethra is not all the way right. It's not all
thank
the
you,
way right.
thank you, dude. I be at work and it be younger guys than me. I go to the urinal and I'm in and out because I'm peeing. I'm fine. It be guys younger than me and they're like, oh, and you hear it squirt, oh, squirt.
See,
And
I
I be
can do
wanting to
without the
ask
sound
him, I be like,
effects.
what's wrong with your prostate, homie? Are what are you younger than me? You should be peeing like a racehorse. You know what I'm saying? Squirt. I wash my hands, I walk out, they still standing there. Squirt. I'm just saying, anyway.
That's from all those Tatianas, not to mention. But I'm saying I digress.
So all I'm saying is a woman can be emboldened and in charge of her sexuality and experience the world and still, because of that, have a great thing to offer to a man that's willing to understand that she had just as much of a right to do that as he did, because then they can meet each other on equal ground. So like you said, Serpent, if she puts her yoni up at a certain pedestal and he puts up his lingam at a certain pedestal and they meet, what were we talking about earlier, being equally yoked, right?
That's what
if
this
you
conversation is
can,
about.
right, if you can handle it, you can handle it. And if you can't, get the hell off the porch, right? If you're gonna roll with the big dogs, roll with the big dogs. And if you ain't, sit down and shut up.
Yeah, because you need to know that just because you make that nice real awesome sound when you orgasm, that
Right.
somebody really likes it when I orgasm too. Like somebody else is gonna like it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like it goes both ways, and it needs to be an understood dereliction between both parties. Like you need to understand, like this can go either way. You know what I'm saying? Like we could be in on the party together, or we could just keep this part of our lives separate and just fall where they may. Like,
So let me speak to an issue with seduction in reference to masculine energy, where masculine energy is very direct and very understanding and very cooperative and very compromising. You do yourself a disjustice by a disjustice. I just made that up. I like it and I'm
I
sticking with
like it
it.
too. I
I
like
love
it
it.
too.
You're doing yourself a disjustice when you seduce a man, right? You don't want to seduce a man because you're not a stripper, nor are
Yeah.
you a prostitute.
Yeah.
It's the easiest thing to do
Talk to him.
with the easiest thing to do with a man is
Oh damn, your mic went out, Hood. Mic went out. Easiest thing to
The
do with a
easiest thing to
man.
do with a man.
the easiest thing to do with a man is talk to him and give him information pertaining to your specific desires, your specific
Yes.
qualifications, what you
Yeah.
want. When I go to a job, you tell me what you want, how you
Yep.
want it, what should I
Yep.
do in my free time, pick up a broom, act busy. That's what the fuck I'm gonna do. Pick up a broom, act busy. Now, if I'm dealing with a shorty and she say pick up a broom, act busy, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna pick up a broom and act busy. But if you're not going to verbalize what you want from me as a masculine species, then you're going to rely on seduction. Well, seduction is something for which you're not clear on even what you want, right? When you
Right.
seduce a man, you don't necessarily know if that's the right man for you, right?
Yeah.
Nor do you actually care. You want him to bring
Be on
about his
hold.
primal
Mhm.
energy, which is very sexual and very um, risque, one would say, right, at his root, because generally he's not in his right mindset. That's what seduction does to a man.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you want to elevate that man and grow with that man and really have a level of consciousness with that man, you would do something real simple. You would talk to that man and be consistent with your application and your communication.
Mm-hmm.
That is 10 times better than seducing a man, showing them your ass, giving them the smile, doing the little rinky dink shit, and not getting nowhere. Because a real man, when he's seduced, he takes offense to it. Because at the very least, if you wanted to say something, you could have said hi.
Could have said it. Yep.
Could
Yeah.
have said, "Hey,
Yeah.
how you doing? My name is Charmaine.
Yep.
I really like you. I would love to get to know you. Getting to know you would be awesome. Can you give me some steps on how I could do that?" And then generally, if he gives you steps, then you
Progress
do with
if you
those
progress,
steps.
or don't. Right.
Or
Yeah.
like those steps, and they're like, I ain't about to follow no steps. Well, you just ask for steps to get to
Yep.
know. But in general, it's not, men are not complicated, right? Men are very simple if you would just talk to them. But I find that in most spaces, seduction is very normal and communication is very rare. And in our community, we need more communication
Yep.
and less seduction, right?
Yep.
Because we know all about the strippers. We know all about Tatalicious. We know all about Tatiana. We know all about Cardi B. We know all about Megan Thee Stallion. We know all about the city girls. But where is the India Aries at? Because I really
Oh yeah,
like the
man.
cocoa butter smelling, yoni steaming, vegan, head wrap
Yeah.
wearing,
Health
walking in the
health fair
sunlight,
going.
man, psychic fair, a tender vendor. You feel me? Like, I don't care about the sexual stuff. I don't care about the seduction stuff. I really would love a communication and love a real interest. The seduction is not a real interest. Seduction is a mind game that's going to have you fucked up at the end of the day.
Yep.
And as a man, you know that. It ain't like you
And
think
all
that
you're
or
doing
wonder
is
it. You know it
all
for
you're doing is all you're doing is adding to the veil, right? So everybody's trying to do this work to try and pierce the veil, but all you're doing is adding to the veil.
Mhm.
So this illusory these illusions, like why create an illusion if you need me to love you for you, right? If the goal is for me to love you for you, then the illusion part it doesn't fit.
Dude, that's
It
the
really
clip
doesn't
right there.
fit. Like you can't seduce me into loving you if I was going to do that anyway.
Why create an illusion?
And we spiritually yoked. So we want to have the conversation as spiritual men, because every sister that you talk to, they say, I'm looking for a man that's spiritually yoked. And generally, y'all want to deal with physical men and hope to be spiritually yoked. But we're just here to say, it's going to be hard to do that. And so we just want to promote a spiritual conversation for the men. And we will also want to promote, women to listen to men and how they think and how they feel without interjecting how it makes you feel. But just have a sober mind and an open heart and an open mind and just listen to these men and what they say, because they're not saying it in specific to you, because these men are very attractive. They can get ladies and things of that nature. We ain't here to try to score females. We ain't here to try to impress you. The only reason that we're here is to provide honest dialogue that'll help you understand the male species and how we think. But, it's been a wonderful podcast, a wonderful exchange. And I just want these guys to kind of give us some ending parting shots, some words of wisdom, their Instagram handles, they sex line number, whatever y'all want to give.
What? Y'all niggas got sex line numbers? Y'all ain't tell me we was getting sex line numbers.
1-800. So no.
I'm sorry. I gotta fill my paperwork out. I gotta look at my paperwork. Where's my paperwork at?
Yeah, man. I'm gonna tell you, when I met my wife, I was at a point in my life where, like Serpent said, I was tired of the veil. I was tired, but I realized that I was the one putting up the veil. I was the one causing illusion because I wasn't being honest enough about my whole self. So, when I met my wife, I said, all right, anything she asked me, I'm gonna tell her. Anything she want to talk about, I'm gonna talk about. Whatever. And to do that, I had to be honest with myself. I had to be able to look inside myself and say, okay, I do like this. I don't like that. This is what I want. This is what I don't want. And in order for us to progress, I knew I had to be that honest with myself. And I think that because I started doing that with myself right before I met her, that's why I met her. And I would say my only parting sentiment is that this work, this Chakra Nova work, this learning your chakras, this learning how to see and feel and operate from your spiritual self, having a human experience, learning how to be that way can only benefit you, whether you're looking for love or not. The number one love you should be looking for is self-love. So once you get that self-love, everything else kind of falls into place. I'm on IG as prime.harmonic. If you follow Prime Harmonic, you'll end up being redirected. Anyway, that's it. Peace.
Thank you, Prime, for your time and energy.
Thank you for the platform.
No worries.
Yeah, I'll go next. Yeah, just what everybody else said. I just want to champion what everybody said. Everybody, they hit their marks, and I support what their messages were. We all, just as men, like we all are here and have a purpose. And we want to be supportive of the women out there. That's why we're here. Of course, we want to be supportive of the men as well. But it definitely needs to be understood that the support doesn't, may not look like what you think it should look like. A lot of people, they want to define what others should provide to them without compromising. Folks need to understand, that we all have lives and responsibilities and things, and we have to take care of ourselves before we can give all of ourselves to what you have going on. So please respect that, and please just take an understanding that you're asking people come and ask for things all the time, but just understand understand what you're asking, and if we can't provide it, it's not because we don't want to, but it's just be considerate and think about what we as men out here in the world. If you're out here watching the news, or watching the news, or even just on Instagram and just watching what is on Instagram, like people be posting stuff all the time.
Yeah, man.
You like to post stuff, but then when you interact with people who those posts are speaking of, you don't put two and two together sometimes. So you like to like folks say, we're not talking about anybody specific, because I'm guilty of this too. This is all of us doing this work, but folks who are really going through things, we need help, and just because you're looking at us and you think that we got it going on, we need support as well. Like big time support, and that's me, but that's everybody up here, and that's you too. That's so let us help find a way to be able to support
each other. Yeah,
for real. And a way that you can support me in this moment is I got hats available, custom. They'll be on the websites pretty soon, but Elijah Green hats taking all custom orders. So just hit me. Elijah Green 144 on Instagram, and then Jeff GEOFF.Elijah 144 as well. Just hit me up and we'll figure it out. Like, have a price, but I'm definitely willing to work with folks, and if anybody who's willing to invest in me, I'm willing to invest in as well. So all of this is for supporting each other. I appreciate the platform as well. I share my Instagram and just I appreciate it. Thanks, but let's really all do this work, because we have to do it for each other. We have to. So
we don't live in no island. Go ahead while our serpent is talking. Jeff, and enter your IG information in the chat if you don't mind.
All right, gotcha.
Appreciate it.
Sacred_serpent_08 on Instagram. I just like to thank the panel. I like to thank the brothers for another expanding build. The parts that I love the most about these builds are that I get to incorporate ideas that just don't exist within my being, and I get to resurface and come to another conclusion. And I'd say that this work that we continue to do with each other, for one another, and for you is a living testament to just what is possible. And um, there's no such thing as any one of you ever being alone. There's no such thing as not being able to get help if you want help and you need help. And there's never a such thing as anybody else healing anybody else. We only here to remind you of how to heal yourself. So once again, thank y'all for the space. Thank y'all for the time. Thank y'all for the participation and the appreciation. And shout out to my big brother, Hood Mystic, and the Mystics. And Chakra Nova is available now. We in the building. And this is just getting started. So shout out to Prime Harmonic and Jeff. I appreciate y'all.
One. So yeah, thank you to everybody that watch and will watch in the future. Be sure to like the video if you're on the live right now or watching the video post live. Comment other topics and energies. If you want to be a guest on Chakra Nova, let us know. Hit us up on IG. We cool, regular, down to earth people. Chakra Nova, we got to do the re-up, so it's going to be a little wait until you get your copies if you order now. But, you know, that's a testament to all of the people who kind of, you know, bought me out, you know, and that was kind of crazy. Just kind of doing this thing with these brothers, man. And it was just an idea. And, you know, it's turning into something, and it's just beginning. The more important part of this whole entire process is that you continue to do the work. So the reason why we're doing this podcast is that we just can't just be like, all right, chakra classes, chakra book, all right, see you when I see you. You know, it's more of coming here on a weekly basis and discussing the intricacies of relating, the intricacies of sex, the intricacies of masculine energy and feminine energy. Because believe it or not, that is chakra work, how we relate to our partners, right? We can get so caught up in how the world receives us and how people like us, and then come to the end of it. You know, Mama Mystic can't stand Hood Mystic ass. You know what I'm saying? I love him, but you know, his wife can't stand him. I could never be that energy. So I would rather y'all hate me with a passion, and my wife love me with all of her heart. And so, you know, that's kind of where I'm at with it. Thank y'all for, you know, tapping in with us. And I see y'all guys next Thursday.
Word.
Peace.
All right, man.
Peace.
We'll tap in. See y'all guys later. Peace.